General Dhillon, you've commanded the Chinar Corps. I know there's an operation that's currently underway, but this drone footage actually shows a terrorist running away, and the drone kind of exposes the kind of the thick tree cover that's available, the altitude, the jungle that this terrorist is operating in. This must be a very difficult operation. General Dhillon, you've commanded troops here, sir.
Good evening, Gaurav, and good evening to all your viewers. Good evening to General Rakesh Sharma also. I must say, in the overall situation, Indian Army and the Jammu Kashmir Police, when they operate together, all available technical, technological, tactical, and human assets are utilized for that operation to be successful. I will not divulge the details of technical and technological assets which the forces have and which they are using. Since I commanded that corps, I am aware of it, but not going into the details of technology per se which we possess. I can tell you the jungles are thick, the tree cover is very, very thick, underground foliage or undergrowth is also thick because of the monsoon season which are just nearing completion. These are the forests which have primary jungles, secondary jungles and tertiary jungles.
Yes.
There are land patches in these areas which have not seen the sunlight in history. The foliage and the tree cover is so thick. So technology also has its limitation. Notwithstanding that, Indian Army is using all technology available to make sure the terrorists are homed on, cornered and neutralized.
Sir,
it's a matter of time. It's a very tough terrain.
Yes.
It's a very, very difficult area.
Absolutely. My point is, killing these terrorists is important. Killing these terrorists is very important. Isn't it more important or equally important to neutralize their handlers across the line of control, General Rakesh Sharma? Because these terrorists, they are that's like pruning the leaves of a terror tree or cutting branches. We should be striking the roots, should we not, General Sharma?
Thank you for inviting me, Gaurav, and I wish to condole the tragic deaths of three brave hearts of the Indian soil, and what a great loss it is always. We've seen 5-6 commanding officers being given the ultimate sacrifice in the course of last 10 to 15 years. So, it's always a grave sorrow to see a commanding officer losing life like this. Now, having said that, I want to make 2-3 first points before I come down to Pakistan and how should we address it. One is that there is an apparently a feel that the information was maybe doctored, or the informant may have been a double agent. So a trap was laid in which the trap was laid, or an ambush was carried out only against the commanding officer, his company commander, and the police DSP who lost their lives, because the other soldiers were not addressed. The scouts and all people who were in front of them were not addressed, and the targeting was carried out to the highest command and control structure there. So it looked like as if there was a double agent in the work. Second, I noticed the footage being shown by your optical cameras, which have been on the drones. But the fact of the matter is that despite the tree coverage, and which General Tiny Dhillon has kindly pointed out, there is always a advantage of taking thermal sensors on drones even before the troops are launched into operation. And thermal sensors we are able to see through the foliage, especially when the first bullet is fired. Then you know exactly what is happening and where people are located, and you can follow them better. So I think we require to upgrade to thermal sensors with tabs available to the platoon commanders to see exactly what's happening, and in real time, even before the operations are launched. We need to upgrade to that kind, including the helmet mounted thermal optical sights as much as possible, to be able to see the foliage. As the foliage is dense, the fire must have been carried out against the commanding officer at a shorter distance. So it's it would be easier to follow in case we were wearing thermal sights at that time. And third issue I wish to raise is that despite the fact that there has been a great improvement in the situation in J&K, but suffice it to say that there are also 6 to 7 incidents which are happening every month. And if you calculate the casualties which are happening of the terrorists, last year 2020 we had over 150 terrorists killed in total J&K.
Yes.
This year is much less. Now, finally, the question that you actually rightly raised, Gaurav, the fact of the matter is that we have to make the whole systemic of terror that is wrought by the Pakistanis for any reason whatsoever, G20 or their own internal situation or economic situation, what happened in Chitral, what's happening in Baluchistan, whatever the reason is. The fact is, we have to make it costly for the Pakistanis to do what they are doing. And as costly as possible.
As costly as possible, as you very rightly point out.